In today's history lesson, we are going to know a little bit more about the kings and queens of ancient Egypt. It's so fascinating. There have been queens that reigned in ancient Egypt. Some did it quietly, while others took upon themselves to bask into the glory of power. This amazing, powerful woman tried to ensure their legacy would last an eternity. Some intentionally did it, others by accident. But perhaps we will never know the truth. These queens used their intelligence and feminine attributes to get what they want. Some become so powerful that they literally shook up the foundation and the world they live in. One of the main queens in the ancient history is Cleopatra. As a queen of ancient Egypt, Cleopatra is one of the most famous female rulers in history. Cleopatra's family ruled Egypt before she was born for 100 years. She was born around the year 69 before BC. The stories and myths surrounding Cleopatra's tragic life inspire a number of books, movies, and plays, including Antony and Cleopatra by Shakespeare. Cleopatra has become one of the most well-known ancient Egyptians, but perhaps her beauty wasn't her biggest asset. It was said that Cleopatra's intelligence far outweighed her looks. According to some historians, Cleopatra was supposedly an irresistible person by her conversation. It was written that she was a bewitched character. It was said that she was a pleasure to be around. But because she was not considered to be a beauty, she had to rely on her intelligence to get to the top of the power of chain. She was so intelligent that she spoke as many as dozen languages and was educated in mathematics, philosophy, oratory, and astronomy. There is also evidence that Cleopatra's physical appearance strikingly was once believed. Coins with her portrait showing her with mainly features in a large hooked nose. Though some historians contend that she intentionally portrayed herself as a masculine, as a display of strength. Cleopatra's maleficent speaking voice and irresistible charm that was that make her so desirable to other people. Now, let's go and find out a little bit more about other very important Egyptian, Nefertiti, an Egyptian queen, well known by her beauty. Nefertiti ruled alongside her husband, the pharaoh Akhenaten. Nefertiti, whose name means a beautiful woman has come, was the queen of Egypt and the white pharaoh Akhenaten during the year 14th century BC. Some historians have been proclaimed her the most beautiful woman in the whole world. Whatever people have said about her, no one never know what happened to the queen. She forever remain a mystery, because when she died, her body was never been found. Nobody have ever found her body. It's little known about the origins of Nefertiti, but her legacy of beauty of power continues to intrigue scholars. There are so many theories about her disappearance in history, but the only well known about this Nefertiti was about her beauty. Let's talk about another female character in the life of the ancient Egypt. That was the Queen Hatshepsut, the only female pharaoh. In those days, the title of pharaoh was held only for men, because women were not allowed to hold any power. But she was the only one in ancient Egypt that could obtain the title of pharaoh. She was very unique and intelligent. She used various strategies to legitimize her position as a pharaoh. Not only did she proclaim herself as a pharaoh and fabricate a currency with her father, but she also tried to make herself more like godlike by the invention of stories with the attachment to God. She did this by making it appear as if the gods had spoken to her and her mother. But the gods spoke to her and telling that she was the elected, she was the one that could hold power. Another important ruler in the history of ancient Egypt was Tutankhamun. Perhaps Tutankhamun is the most famous and instant recognized pharaoh in the modern world. His golden sarcophagus is where all the mummy or his remains are located. It's now a symbol of the Egypt. His name means living image of the god. He died some kinds mysteriously at the age of 17 or 18. There are so many theories, but he was a teenager when he died. The circumstances involving his disease, there are many too. Recently, it's been recently is in recently years and these times, it's been discovered that perhaps someone fractured his scalp and he died from a scalp fracture. It was found also that some of his leg bones were broken. But the assurance about the King Tut is that he died very young at a teenage age, between 15 and 18 years old. He became a celebrity pharaoh in 1922 when the archaeologist Howard Carter discovered he's almost intact. That means nobody came and went in contact with the sarcophagus in the Valley of the King. While he was initially, Tutankhamun was a minor ruler whose reign was a little consequence opinion he changed as further evidence come to light. Today, Tutankhamun is recognized as one important pharaoh who returned order to the land left in chaos by his father. Tutankhamun perhaps was one of the most loved by his people. It's well known that when his tomb was discovered, it took about 10 years to empty all that tomb where he held all his belongings, and everything was so valuable, everything was very valuable, was gold and many different artifacts that are very valuable. Now, I'm gonna ask you to please to read a little bit more in the kings and queens of ancient Egypt. We're gonna access a site that is called Nearpod. So we're gonna access Nearpod. Let me see. We're gonna go to nearpod.com, and right here we're gonna join. And this part where it says enter session pin, I'm gonna give you a pin number, and we're gonna access some information and you're gonna complete some exercises. Let's see. The pin, let's try let's try E. Oh, it's not right here. Let's try E. PS, and then let's click on the arrow. There you go. Your name is gonna be right there. I'm gonna enter as Selena Maravilla, press send, and there, voila, we have our session open. So we're gonna go here. Let's start working. Let me try one more time. So this is a lesson, so we're gonna go scroll over and we're gonna start it's asking me if I want to leave. No, I don't want to. No. Here in the bottom, we can look for the beginning of the presentation. So we're going to skip this part. We're going to do this right here. We're going to start and look at the presentation. You can choose the arrow to go back and forth. Right here we have a song. Let's listen to the song. Next. Let me try one more time. Right here. It's not working. Am I doing something wrong? So let me try this pin. I'm gonna exit. I'm gonna say yes. So I'm gonna try again. Join. This is my session. Yes. Oh, okay. Now we're in the song. Let's listen.
Come back, take us back to ancient Egypt. Tell us what you find in each hidden place. For remnants and emperors of the Canaan kings, Greeks and kings and birds and kings that royal things. Nama, Khufu, Hatshepsut, and Nefertiti. Tutankhamun, Ramesses, Cleopatra. Caesar was her sweetie. Come back, take us back to ancient Egypt. Tell us what you find in each hidden place.
Wow. Now we finish. Oh, no. So we're gonna do the same process. Let me see. You keep on doing it, you're gonna find, okay. We're going to the same screen.